Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, and today I wanted to share a little bit about staying busy. This is especially for those coming out of prison or those that have addictions, maybe it's drugs, sex, whatever it may be. One thing I learned when I got out of prison was I needed to stay busy. If, a wandering mind can cause a person sometimes to get into trouble, to think negative thoughts or do negative things. And one thing I've always loved to do ever since high school was working in the garden, planting flowers, planting vegetables, seeds, and so forth. So I stay real busy working in my garden. Um, and I spend probably majority of the day in the spring and summer and even fall outside in my yard, so that the yard will look nice. It gives me a sign of accomplishment, and then you realize that you might have planted the stuff, but God helped the stuff grow, and you know, and you just could keep your mind busy. Um, Another thing I like to do is I like to listen to videos on YouTube, especially self-help videos, political videos, to keep my mind informed on what is going on in our world today. And I can't emphasize enough on how much it helps when you keep your mind occupied. It could be arts and crafts. It could be hiking, fishing, and I love fishing. My friend and I went fishing last summer. We had a lot of fun. It was the hottest day of the year. It was like 98, so I didn't last quite as long as I was hoping I would. But I had a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun having your freedom and doing what is right. But it's all really in your mind. Are you going to do what's right? Are you going to start thinking the positive thoughts? Are you going to allow society to dictate your worth? And we can't allow society to dictate our worth, because we know how society pass judgment on people for their past mistakes, for their future mistakes. Our government's probably the worst at it. Even there's some churches that frown upon people that have negative backgrounds, that did some wrong things. But I like to keep myself busy. Wintertime it's a little bit tougher just because I'm stuck inside. I can't shovel snow anymore because of my heart, so I spend a big portion of each day cleaning, or sorting through papers, or rearranging my living room. So every time my nurse comes in and she says, you moved everything around again, and this is at least once a week that I have a habit of doing it. But it keeps me busy. And if you have any suggestions on what people can do to occupy their minds, I'm going back to school in Columbus State this summer, and that's gonna, and I did pretty good on the testing, so that's gonna be fun. That would keep my mind sharp. Hopefully, it will keep it sharp. Another thing I like to do is I listen to my Christian music. I listen to a lot of Michael W. Smith, Stephen Curtis Chapman, the Winans, the Gaithers. And ever since I was a child, I pretty much listened to Christian contemporary. I grew up with that, and that music is uplifting and not negative. So there's a lot of things that we as people can do. An idle mind is a negative mind, and that is just sitting around, not planning anything, just sitting in your chair all day and thinking about everything that we can do wrong. So we have to do what's right ourselves. And I count on a good support team, which I do have. I could call some of my friends up just about any time. I just got reacquainted with my oldest son, which I am so thankful for. When I had my stroke in 2020, the one thing I prayed for is that I'd get reunited with my kids someday. And it's really a blessing to see how God works in people's lives. And I want to be out here so that I could be here for him and my youngest son someday, and all my kids. You know, kids are a blessing from God, you know, and they're a blessing to us as well. But let's keep our minds occupied. Let's start being more positive about things. Let's stay busy. Let's help the community. And one thing I wanted to say before I left, another way I stayed busy was by starting some groups. One was fighting for prisoner reform so people would have a fair chance for release. Then recently, a couple years ago, we started a Hope for the Community, and we work with our homeless folks. And it's really nice to see, you know, someone come up to you and thank you. And we don't do it for gratitude or anything. We do it because we want to help the community. Candace, Rita, Rachel, Callie, everybody's, you know, helped in the past. And we look for better things in the future to help our community. And, you know, you could do this in any city in the state of Columbus or the nation. Is, you know, get people to maybe prepare meals, feed the homeless, have community fairs as we're having in May, where we bring resources to our community for addiction, mental health, housing, Department of Aging. So there's a lot of needs in our community. So that can start with us to help these good folks out. And let's put in our minds that we are not going to judge others for their flaws, but we're going to look at positive things that people do and start praying for those that are in need. Everybody, thank you so much for listening today. It's always a blessing to talk with you. Thank you.